actually, in our work, what's very important to mention is that our clients get well. Clients get well, change happens, and a transformation of their suffering occurs in their work when we work together. And I'm assuming that for you to be on this call, on this workshop this morning, that you have had at least, I would imagine, at least one experience of this, in your life, in your work, where there is connection. Because if people didn't get better, we wouldn't do it. We wouldn't do the work. You know, when people say, oh, I don't know how you do that job, being with those people, being miserable all the time. Well, they're not, are they? We know that. But actually, people get well. If they didn't, we wouldn't continue in our work. And yet, it does take time. We know it takes time. There are no quick fixes that happen. And the shadows that are presented to us that we are working with and I'm really bringing to light here, mind, body, spirit, soul, yeah? The element of spirit and soul is often missing or forgotten in our work, in our training, in moments where we need to hurry up, or we have 6 sessions, or depending on what the environment that we're working with, it's easily forgotten. And actually integrating the body itself into our clinical work, into mental health, into the dialogue, it's taken decades. In fact, I'd say, well, at least 100 years, until obviously Bessel's book came out, The Body Keeps the Score. And any talk of the body before Bessel was just seen as a bunch of woo-woo hippie nonsense, right? But Bessel's brought science here. This book is still number 8 in the charts. I saw it in the paper last Sunday. Number 8 in the charts of regular people, not just therapists. Amazing. So it's going to take decades more time for us to start having the dialogue of spirit and soul. But let's start it now. We need it now. Okay. So spirit and soul has often been there. Has always been there. But its existence, like those examples I gave earlier of the football, the rainbows, it doesn't have a space to breathe. It can be denied, suppressed, absolutely cut off from. So Maya Angelou, who I'm sure you're very aware of, this really connected with me, this quote: when things were very bad, his soul just crawled behind his heart and curled up and went to sleep. Wow. That's so the soul is behind the heart, and little permission has been given to explore a person's spiritual life and needs in our work in therapy. Predominantly the focus is on mind, but for me, I believe firmly that the spirit is hiding behind the body, in the body, part of the body, living in the body all the time during therapy in our work, just as Maya Angelou described. And major life events, they change us, and we've all been through them. We've all survived what's happened over the last 3 years, and our proximity to, and it's not just COVID, I've put some other things in, it's not just COVID, but proximity to death, illness, grief, trauma, war, relationship trauma. It changes how we exist in the world. And that is always non-verbal. It's that felt bodily sense. Yet, and again, let's hold on to hope here and the light, because over time, our clients, in their work with you, in their work with us, our clients begin to feel steady. They grieve, they cry, they let go, they feel their pain, but they feel stronger over time. Remember, there's no quick fix. They heal. Something comes forward. And again, this is another quote by Maya Angelou, which is, for me, is beautiful. So the font isn't brilliant on there. Let me read this. And when great souls die, after a period, peace blooms, slowly and always, irregularly. Space fills with a kind of soothing electric vibration, our senses restored, here to be the same. Whisper to us, they existed. They existed. We can be and be better, for they existed. Oof, that's powerful, isn't it? Powerful. So over time, I'll leave that on. So over time, our clients' nervous systems, I'm bringing some science into this. So we're going to go a little bit back to the solid here. Our clients' nervous systems feel more steady, less extreme, less up, anxiety, hyper aroused, or flat down in bed, not get up or down, less extreme. So shifting from that hyper aroused, anxious state or that lower depressed state. So over the moments, over the weeks working with you, the clients, their nervous systems start to regulate. Maybe noticing that that we call into the window of tolerance in our language that we may use. They may not stay there. They may just even come down a bit. They might not even get in the window of tolerance. But there's some feeling of change, something shifting, a middle place. It might feel lighter. It might feel lighter. Yeah. So this is a space where they can breathe. They can live in the here and now. Again, it may just be for a moment, but they experience it in the body. They start to notice, nurture, and have compassion for themselves over time. And this is only the start. So for some of your clients, this might be a familiar space, and for others, it may feel completely new, but they're going to feel it in their bones. You will feel it in your bones.